News 25 is brought to you by J.K. Nelson Law. Call 727-9900 today for your free consultation. If you need a lawyer, you need Nelson.
Tonight, meet Valley Electric's new CEO.
And one person is taken to the hospital after a crash. News 25 starts now.
This is News 25 with Deanna O'Donnell, Eunette Gentry. News 25. Local coverage you can count on.
Well, the new CEO of VEA takes the helm. It's Tuesday, February 4th. I'm Deanna O'Donnell.
And I'm Eunette Gentry.
Valley Electric Association's new CEO has been on the job for 1 month, and he's excited to be leading the organization. Mark Stallions brings with him a lot of experience, and he hopes to use his skills and knowledge to make positive changes at VEA. In the first of a two-part series, Mark spoke to News 25 about his decision to come here and the plans he has for Valley Electric.
It's going well. Yeah. I mean, I'm enjoying it. I enjoy working with all the employees. I found that we have a great, talented employee base, and they're eager for a turnaround. They're eager for a new direction. We're basically going into the annual meeting with a theme, and the major theme is rebuilding trust. And there's 3 pillars of that theme, or 3 points of that theme. And the first one is member focused, and the second one is looking ahead, and the third one is leading by example. And quite honestly, I think that's going to frame the next 12 months. And we really do need to rebuild trust. It's been broken, and I think it's critical for us to be member focused, to have good plans and do our due diligence and make good decisions looking ahead, and then leading by example, do the right thing. The value of looking back is to learn and not repeat. Learn what worked, learn what didn't work, and then do different and behave different and make a change. And so I think everybody's excited to do that. Everybody's looking forward to that. We recognize the mistakes of the past. Most of the people that made those mistakes aren't here. And so we want to look forward. We want to move in a new direction. I think one of the major things I've discovered by talking and meeting with members is we need to get the financial house in order. In the last 18 months, even prior to me getting here, there's been a major effort of getting the financial house in order. If I look at the 2018 cash that went out of the organization, or the expenditures of the organization, there's been a large cut in the amount of cash going out, the spending. The reality is we need to continue to do that. We need to make good decisions, good business decisions. We need to make promises that we keep. We can't say something and then not do it. The key decision on me accepting the job was meeting the board. I had to know that the board was serious about good governance, that they were serious about doing the right thing, and that their heart and their passion was with Valley Electric and turning it around. And when I interviewed, all my boxes that I needed to check off were checked off. I found them to be engaging. I found them to be hopeful. I found them to be knowledgeable and smart. And probably the best thing I found was that in discussions with them, they didn't hold back, and they put everything on the table. And nobody was playing games. They were being honest, and they were telling the truth. And so when you can have candid conversations that go to the heart of the matter, and people push back on each other without getting angry, without getting ugly about it, then you can make good decisions. And I found that the board members were ready and willing and able to do that. And that was a huge part of my decision. If I had gone into that interview and said, oh my gosh, this board's a mess, they can't get along, da-da-da-da-da. If I'd have found that, I wouldn't have come.
No.
I would have stayed where I was. So I was engaged, I saw promise, I saw hope, and I saw leadership from the board. And my conclusion was I can work with this board and we can do good things.
Well, on tomorrow night's broadcast, we continue our conversation as Mark explains the steps he'll take to improve member satisfaction and how he plans to use member feedback to help shape the future of Valley Electric Association.
And stay tuned. News 25 will be right back.
You're watching KPVM News 25. Local coverage you can count on.
Welcome back to News 25. Well, traffic was recently diverted around a high-impact crash in this area of Pahrump.
Traffic was blocked in the major intersection in town on Friday night temporarily while vehicles, debris, and the investigation into a two-vehicle crash was concluded. Nevada Highway Patrol, Nye County Sheriff's Office deputies, Nye County auxiliary units, and Pahrump Valley Fire and Rescue arrived on scene to find both vehicles sustained major damage as a result of this accident. One female was transported by ground ambulance to Desert View Hospital. The other occupants inside the red sedan declined to be transported at the time of the crash. How the accident occurred is under the investigation of Nevada Highway Patrol. Well, U.S. manufacturing activity took a jump in January as Tesla stock also bumped up, closing above $700 a share for the first time. Angela Miles has details in today's BFB.
Here's Angela Miles with today's Business First Brief.
Topping our news, crude oil is plunging on economic concerns of the coronavirus. The price of West Texas crude broke below $50 during Monday's trading session. However, there is speculation OPEC could cut production later this month. That would mean there would be less oil on the market and it would hold up the price of crude. The nation's manufacturing activity improved last month. The ISM index number came in with a reading of 50.9. A number above 50 indicates growth in factory activity. The ISM index fell below the 50 threshold for the past 5 months. Economists remain concerned about constraints to manufacturing because of the trade war. Tesla shares surged past $700 for the first time. Analysts are encouraged by demand for the company's electric cars.
To find out where you can see us every day, go to businessfirstam.com.
Thanks so much, Angela. And turning back to area news, on January 29th, around 7:30 p.m., Nevada Department of Public Safety Parole and Probation Officer Alex Salgado arrived at his home located in the northwest area of Las Vegas, and while Salgado entered his residence, he noticed the kitchen door to his backyard was opened, and Salgado heard voices coming from a bedroom and an unidentified male fleeing through the back door. A second male adult then entered and bumped into Salgado, and Salgado then attempted to pull out his gun, apprehend the suspect, and Salgado fired before and after giving verbal commands to stop. And Salgado then struck the suspect. That suspect fled out of the back door, and a third suspect, later identified as 24-year-old Jalen Turner, entered the bedroom and was taken into custody, fortunately without incident. And identities of the two remaining suspects who are still being searched for are only known to be other African-American males. Now, this investigation is currently ongoing, and there are charges for the suspect who was taken into custody. He is facing burglary and home invasion charges. And the release of the identity of those suspects will be forthcoming once that investigation continues. Metro is conducting that ongoing investigation, and if you would like to give any information about this incident, you can contact Metro or you can contact Crime Stoppers at 702-385-5555. Again, this investigation is ongoing.
Well, the Nye County Board of Commissioners is growing frustrated on how long it's taking to change the speed limit and signs on a portion of Pahrump Valley Boulevard. At their December 3rd meeting, the board approved changing the speed limit on Pahrump Valley Boulevard from 372 to Calvada Boulevard from 35 miles per hour to 45 miles per hour. But 2 months later, that change has still not happened.
Well, I believe that right now it says 35 miles an hour. And I don't believe there was ever a resolution that said make it 35, was there?
It's my
Because
understanding.
it should have been 45 based on the signs coming in. So why do I need a resolution to put it back to what it should have been?
It's my understanding that they used to be 45 miles an hour, and I believe you're talking about Pahrump Valley Boulevard from 372 to Calvada.
Yep.
And there was an accident at the corner of Mount Charleston and Pahrump Valley Boulevard that the board asked the director of Public Works at that time to reduce the speed limit to 35. That's where it's been for the last, let's say, 10 years that I know.
Was there a resolution to do that? Or was it just a request from here to there to do that?
It was direction by the board, so that.
So direction, so I can't give you, we gave you direction to make it 45. Why am I waiting for a resolution? That's my point.
You know, the basis I used for that motion was the NRS, because in the NRS it talks about 25 on gravel, 45 on the road. Is that not enough? Because it addresses that road. Why can't we just go out there and make that change? I hear what you want. I hear you. I hear you. It's about liability and all that good stuff. But at the same time, I'm citing the law on the change.
And those signs are based on a 1971 ordinance by the town of Pahrump. So it's probably time we address updating those. And so maybe it's time to bring that thing back to light and get that in front of this board to consider approving a blanket speed study for the entire Pahrump Valley.
We've been having this conversation since I was on the RPC board 9 years ago. And we seem to get nowhere with it. We talk about it, talk about it, talk about it, talk about it. Bring it to the board. Let's finish it. Let's make that a goal to get it done this year, because it's not going to happen in a month. I realize that. I mean, if it takes 3 months to change traffic signs on a road where we made a motion, a second, and a unanimous vote to do it, and I still can't get it done, it's going to take forever to get that done. But let's do it this year.
All right, stay tuned. We'll be right back here at Pahrump's #1 and now Las Vegas's newest news source.
This segment of the news is brought to you by Mountain West Lawyers, Nye County's injury attorneys. Don't get bullied by insurance companies. Call Jason Ernest and bully them back at 775-727-9500.
Well, February is American Heart Month. According to a new survey, many of us underestimate the threat of heart disease, especially for women. Erica Foreman has more on where knowledge about women's heart health misses a beat.
Heart disease is the leading cause of death for both men and women. But according to a Cleveland Clinic survey, many people mistakenly believe breast cancer is more of a threat.
I think most people believe that, right? That breast cancer or gynecological cancer tends to be the biggest killer in women, but it still continues to be heart disease. And the reason why that's so important is because 90% of heart disease comes from risk factors that you can control. Blood pressure, cholesterol, smoking, diabetes.
Results show millennials are most misguided, with only 20% correctly identifying heart disease as the leading killer for women.
I think when you're young, you think you're invincible, but heart disease starts at an early age, right? It's what we eat, and it's what we do.
Many surveyed know heart attack symptoms for women include chest pain, shortness of breath, sweating, and pain in the neck or jaw. But less than half realize fatigue and nausea are also signs of heart attacks in females.
30% of women have atypical symptoms, so they tend to have things like just shortness of breath or extreme fatigue. And so If you feel these symptoms, especially with exertion, it's really important to go and be seen by your physician.
Exercise is a good way for everyone to keep their heart healthy, but women are more likely than men to say they never exercise or exercise less than an hour each week.
It's the most amazing thing we can do for our body, exercising. The best exercise gets your heart rate up and you are sweating.
Dr. Cho says women should aim for 150 minutes of weekly exercise. At Cleveland Clinic, I'm Erica Foreman.
Thanks, Erica. Well, the good news is, even if you have a family history, heart disease is preventable by incorporating a healthy lifestyle, not smoking, and keeping blood pressure, cholesterol, and diabetes under control.
All right, that's important. And another good thing for your heart, a furry friend. So if you're looking for a cuddly friend to keep you warm during these cold winter days, you might want to take a look at a new Valentine sweetheart named Marty. He's available for adoption right now at Desert Haven. Darby has all of those details.
Today's Save a Pet is proudly sponsored by Jason Ernest with Mountain West Lawyers. Call 775-727-9500.
Hi, I'm Darby here at Desert Haven Animal Society, and today we are joined with Martin. Martin is a 1-year-old domestic short hair. Martin is gray and white. He has about the same amount of gray as white. He does have some gray on the top of his head, and then he also has a little gray marking on his bottom lip that makes him look like he has a little goatee. He is super sweet, extremely affectionate. He was actually a stray. He was captured in somebody's yard, and man, does he want attention. He purrs and he puts his mouth right up to your ear so he knows that you're going and that you're being loved by him. He's super sweet. He wants to play. He's only a year old, so you definitely want to go and have enough time to go and spend with him so he can play with you. But definitely come down to Desert Haven Animal Society and see him and all of his friends here in the cat room. They're on Ceres Lane behind the Nye County Courthouse. You can give them a call at 775-751-7020. You can look them up always on their Facebook page at Desert Haven Animal Society. He's going somewhere. Where are you going? He wants to perch.
News 25 Weather Cam is brought to you by Lerner and Rowe Injury Attorney's Office in Pahrump. In a wreck, need a check? Call 702-877-1500.
All right, let's take a look outside at what conditions were like earlier through our Lerner and Rowe weather cam. Look at that picturesque day. Yes, over the saloon in the middle of the hump on the way to Pahrump. We'll have a closer look at our forecast after this break.
News 25 weather is brought to you by Dairy Council of Nevada. The splash of cream in your coffee, the dollop of sour cream on your burrito, the melted toasty cheese on your pizza. Undeniably delicious, undeniably dairy. Enjoy what's real.
Hello and welcome back to a super cold and windy edition of News 25. I'm Michael Donohue with today's weather. In Las Vegas, we had a high of 50 degrees and a low of 31, 61, 36 in Death Valley, 49 for the high in Amargosa, 44 for the high in Beatty. Both towns have a low of 25 degrees, 33 a low of 13 in Goldfield, 31, 12 in Tonopah, 36, 21 in Carson City, 35 for the high in both Fallon and Fernley, 17 for the low in Fallon, and 20 degrees for the low up in Fernley. Now today in Pahrump, we saw some sunny skies. Our high today was only 47 degrees. Winds coming out of the north at 19 miles per hour, 11% humidity, and our sunrise at 6:42 this morning. For tonight, we're going to continue on with clear skies. The low is going to be 26 degrees. Winds coming out of the north at 12 miles per hour, 27% for our humidity, and our sunset at 5:13 tonight. Now looking ahead to our 7-day, we're seeing a lot of sunny skies all up until Saturday. On Sunday, we do have some clouds rolling in, and we do have some light showers in the morning of Monday, and then some sunny skies once again on Tuesday. Now that wind, we are going to be expecting those high winds still all through Sunday. It's going to die down a little bit Monday and Tuesday, but we're going to be seeing an average of 12 mile per hour winds from today on through Sunday. So please make sure still that you bring any loose items inside. We don't want any flying furniture throughout the week. Now, temperature-wise, on Wednesday, we do have a high of 56 degrees with a low of 37. Thursday and Friday, seeing highs of 68 and 72, both days a low of 40 degrees. 69, a low of 42 on Saturday. 71, 39 on Sunday. 52 with a low of 32 on Monday. And then Tuesday, a high of 53 with a low of 33 degrees. So now with that, we're going to throw it back to the desk with Deanna and Eunette.
All right. Thanks so much, Michael.
Yes.
I can't wait to see how that rain pans out there.
Yeah, maybe Monday, but he had the best descriptor ever. Super cold and windy.
I know.
Yeah.
We want to wish a very happy birthday to Laszlo Vai. All right. Well, that's going to wrap up this edition of News 25. I'm Deanna O'Donnell.
And I'm Eunette Gentry. And from all of us here at KPVM and A's Country Radio, thanks so much for joining us tonight, and we will see you again tomorrow.
Good night.
Good night.